Without further ado, I would like to bring up Governor Palin to say a few words, if I could, please. Governor Palin, thank you. Thank you for your commitment to Alaska and your good hard work as a community service person. Thank you for coming to Juneau and sharing some time with us.
Absolutely. Thank you so much. I'm happy to be here. Very excited to hear from Pat. And, you know, in fact, when I was asked to come and say a few words to kind of preface the economic forecast, I'm like, well, why do they want to hear from me? You're the experts on what's coming in the state of Alaska. And what we're going to do today, though, is not be Pollyanna and be so overly optimistic about what's coming in our state. We know changes are coming to the state of Alaska. We're going to talk in very realistic terms about what we can expect. It's still very, very good for Alaska. You know, we have a very, very bright future, but with Pat's numbers that he's going to share and a little bit of our sharing from the state administration, I think that you all can look very optimistically at our future. At the same time, we're going to deal in reality here. So again, looking forward to hearing from Pat. This past year in Alaska has been very good. We've seen positive change. Our administration, working with the legislature, working very hard to restore trust in state government. That's what we want our foundation to be, a trustworthy state government so that you all, so that Alaskans can trust that the decisions that the administration, that the legislature is making on your behalf are in your best interest, not any of our self-interest or any kind of undue influence, any kind of corruption. We want that erased. So we're working very hard to build that foundation. And I think in this past year we've seen success in that arena. Also, we have a lot of resource development projects that we're supporting, wanting to ramp up. We know that Alaska's history is built on, and our economy is built on, our God-given natural resources, the prudent, safe development of those. That's going to continue. Our resource development will move Alaska forward. And folks who come up here maybe from elsewhere who don't understand that or who don't want that to happen in Alaska, resource development, I have to question their motives. I have to question I guess some of their intelligence even, if they don't understand that we are built on natural resources. So much of our progress is based on safe, prudent use of those resources. We're very, very blessed to live in a place that is so rich in resource. We are a storehouse throughout our history. It's been the fish and the mining and the timber. It's the energy production, especially today, that's driven our economy. That's going to continue, and I'm sure Pat's going to talk a bit about that. Let me talk a little bit about AGEA, Alaska's next economic lifeline as we see it. The natural gas pipeline, where finally a vehicle has been built to get a gas line built on Alaska's terms. We're the resource owners, and we want to make sure that this gas line is built, revenue is derived fairly, jobs for Alaskans will be created with this gas line. AGEA is the vehicle that we believe will get us there. We have a good proposal in front of us from TransCanada, internationally known pipeline construction company, bidding essentially on this project. But as TransCanada proposes their project to all of you, we're in a 60-day public comment period right now. We'll be hearing from TransCanada and what the content of their proposal is. I absolutely agree with Speaker Harris and others in the legislature when you guys are saying, well, let's bring them all in. Let's hear from every applicant so that those applications can speak for themselves. That's what we have promised, is open, transparent, competitive environment that we're creating. Alaskans need to know what all the proposals have been to build this gas line. Our evaluation process thus far is showing us that TransCanada's proposal does meet Alaska's must-haves. It seems to allow more value to be derived for Alaskans, but we want you guys to judge that. We want the legislature to judge these applications. So we'll be hearing from everybody. In energy also, I think most Alaskans have understood that it's very, very important that Alaska has a long-term energy plan. So we're going to appoint an energy coordinator. We've Internally, we talk about an energy czar, but then I keep being reminded, don't use that term czar. You sound like a socialist, so we won't use that term. An energy coordinator to develop and implement that statewide energy plan that is long overdue for our state. An energy plan for Alaska has got the opportunity to bring all Alaskans and ultimately our entire nation towards more energy security. You know, none of us like to be reliant on foreign sources of energy. When we consider the thought and the reality in some cases today of importing sources of energy into this state, that's nonsensical to us. We're sitting on very healthy reserves. We have the alternative renewable sources that are sitting there waiting for us to tap into with innovation, with long-term solutions to lower energy costs for our businesses, for our families. Alternative energy sources will be tapped into, and with a sound energy plan that incorporates much of those renewables, we're excited about that. We'll work hard on that. I just want to speak real quickly because I do want to hear from Pat. Again, not wanting to be a Pollyanna and telling everybody that we've got a boom coming in the next year or two, because we don't. You know, you're going to see stability, you're going to see steadiness in our economy. It is still vital. There are robust aspects of our economy. We'll hear about that today. But we do have to be realist here. Alaska has got to be less reliant on federal government earmarks. Our congressional delegation warns us of that so often. But it's an opportunity for us to be greater producers, greater contributors, as we are capable of being, and as we promised the federal government when we became a state 50 years ago that we would be. I see this as an opportunity when we hear those warnings from the federal government. You know, Alaska, you got to start being more self-sufficient, more self-determined. I say, right on. This is our opportunity. We'll seize this opportunity. We'll produce. We'll contribute. We will hold up our end of the bargain. Again, when we became a state, that we would be self-sufficient. The feds then have to hold up their end of the bargain also and allow us that opportunity to develop. So that's part of our mission, and I know Chamber of Commerce members are there with us, so I appreciate that. And with that, Pat, we look forward to hearing your comments. Thank you.